Why, hello. You know, pricing vintage Barbies it can be challenging. It can seem really overwhelming. And I know a lot of you have asked me if I would tell you guys how much to expect to pay for all of these different vintage Barbies, and there are a lot of them. I mean, today we are going from 1959 to around 1975. I've got about 20 Barbie dolls right here with me. I know about what to expect already, but I went ahead and I looked at eBay and Etsy to see how much everything is going for currently. If you're outside of the US or Canada, I would definitely expect to spend a little bit more than this, but generally these are good prices. I have done my homework here, and I think you guys can trust that this is going to be pretty accurate, and this is about what you should expect to spend. And if you find them for a lot less, good for you. If you find them for more, you know that you're spending too much. So let's just start from the top. We're going to do this chronologically. Grab your pen and paper. Let's do this. Let's start with the ponytail, the very first Barbie that came out. Now, this is definitely going to depend on which number ponytail you get. There was a number 1 all the way through a number 8. They were sold from 1959 to 1965. Now, I don't have a number 1, but I can show you what one looks like here. She would have these really arched eyebrows, and she would have holes at the bottom of her feet. Now, this doll, a vintage version, can range upwards of $20,000. Very expensive. A number 2 is gonna look the same, but she will not have the holes on the bottom of her feet. And a number 2, I've seen some at doll shows and on eBay going for about $6,000 to $7,000. I'm sure that some have sold for more than that. That's about what you could expect to pay. Number 1s and 2s are very expensive. Just beneath that would be the number 3. Now, if you've seen my videos, you know that I do have a number 3. She has much less arched eyebrows. I think a number 3 is just so beautiful. You'll see a really pale skin tone. They'll smell like crayons a bit. Now, the darker haired ones are rare. Blue eyeshadow makes it a little more rare. A number 3 can run from about $700 to as much as $2,000 or so. They're very expensive, but not nearly as expensive as a number 1 or number 2. Now, a number 4 through a number 8, like these here, this would be a number 5, you can tell by the shiny face, would be about $175 to about $450. And this really is just gonna depend on the condition of the doll. If you find a doll that has all original makeup and hair setting and has absolutely no green ear, then those are going to be more expensive. But yeah, I would say about $175 all the way up to about $450 if you have an absolutely minty, perfect ponytail. Now that we have covered the original ponytails, let's move on to the next iteration of Barbie. All right, now, this one right here, a bubble cut, came out from 1961 to 1964, would range for about $125 to $250 or so. Now, there's also a side part. Some people say a European side part bubble cut, which would be more expensive. That would range from about $350 to as much as $600 or so. Beautiful doll. Damn, I love a bubble cut. Right next to her, the Fashion Queen, 1963 to 1964. The Fashion Queens would cost about $125 to about $300. If they're in really great condition with the full outfit here and their set of 3 wigs, I would expect to spend between $225 to $300 or so. Beautiful doll. Next up, from 1964 to 1965, the swirl ponytail. These would range from about $175 to about $250. A little bit more difficult to find, but worth it. So beautiful. And right next to her, from 1964 only, would be Miss Barbie. She is the girl with the sleeping eyes that frighten children. She would cost between about $200 and $300. If you could find one in the box with the swing set and everything, easily over $1,000. But she is super cool. A lot of the time, they will get these melt marks over their forehead. This one's in pretty great shape, but like with any of these dolls, if they have any problems, that's going to affect the price. But a really good one you should be able to find for between $200 and $300. Next up, from 1965 to 1967, they produced the American Girl Barbie. Now these would range from about $350 to around $800. There are a few versions. This one with the shorter haired bob, this cropped cut, and then a longer haired version, still in the same style. And the shorter haired versions would be on the lower price end, and the longer haired ones getting up there closer to the $800 mark. Now there's a third version, the side part, which would be very expensive, that would probably start, I guess, at around $2,000 and could go all the way up to about $6,000. Next to her, produced from 1966 to 1967, would be Color Magic Barbie. Color Magic dolls would range from about $750 to maybe as much as $3,500. I would say for a great minty Color Magic, a good one, you probably expect to spend around $1,500. They weren't always that expensive. When I looked on eBay today, the prices were very, very high. You know, a few things to note: the higher the color, you know, the more you see the blush and the shadow, they're gonna cost a little bit more. Another thing, you know, most Color Magic dolls don't have perfectly even haircuts in the back. I don't think I've ever seen one with a perfect haircut. It's not that someone cut them, it's just how they were produced. The midnight black ones are exceptionally rare, but I think that the yellow haired ones are the prettiest. This turns to a scarlet flame with the solution. Beautiful, beautiful doll. God, I love a Color Magic doll. Ooh, I love her. All right, let's move on. All right, 1967 to 1968, the original Twist and Turn Barbie. These would go for about $175 to around $250. If you find a Titian one or a really, really platinum blonde one, sometimes even a black cherry kind, you could get up higher, closer to $500 or $600. The Titian ones would be the rarest variation, but it's possible if you have a perfect Titian that's really high color, you could spend as much as $700. But the general price, you know, if you have a brunette or just a nice blonde like this, I would say between $175 and $250. Now, from 1969 to 1971, the Marlowe Flip Barbie. She is so cute, my God. This outfit, every time I see her in this outfit, it is just too cute. The Marlowe Flip should cost about $150 to $200. If you find one in the box, that's over $1,000 easy. But you know, we're not gonna get into how much a lot of these cost in the box. We're just looking for the standard prices for you collectors. If you wanna buy outfits and dress them up, that sort of thing, I would say about $150 to $200 for a beautiful Marlowe Flip. All right, let's move on. All right, now we have our two talkers here. This really cool side pony one was produced in 1968 only, and she would cost around $200. This nape curl version was produced from 1970 to 1972, and she would cost about $150 to about $200 as well. Now, I've said this before in a video, the talking dolls are very, very fragile. Their legs are very prone to falling off. A lot of the dolls that you see are going to be mute. A lot of the time they won't speak anymore. It is possible to repair them and get them to speak again. Not really something that's easy to do at home, but you can find dolls that have been repaired to talk as well. I would say half the time you find one of these on eBay or something, the head will have been put on a TNT body or something because, like I said, they're very fragile dolls. A lot of the time the nape curl ones you find, the hair isn't gonna look quite this good, but you can do it, you can find it. A lot of people reset the hair too and can get them to look really nice. Okay, let's move on. Now, this lovely gal I'm holding here would be a dramatic living Barbie. There was a living Barbie and a dramatic living Barbie. This is her original outfit. These were produced from 1970 to 1971, and they would cost about $200 each in really great condition. Absolutely beautiful doll. I really love a dramatic living Barbie. A lot of people aren't that crazy about their bodies and how their arms stick out a bit like that, but I mean, come on, she is so beautiful. Then the classic, we all know her, Malibu Barbie from 1971 to 1976. A Malibu Barbie is one of the most affordable, probably the most affordable Barbie here. They would cost from about $50 to $100. In the box and that bubble packaging, you could expect to spend about $350 to as much as maybe $500. There are so many Malibu Barbies out there, so you really want to look for one that is just as beautiful as possible because they're really not that expensive, and she is just such a stunner. Love Malibu Barbie. Next up, Growin' Pretty Hair Barbie. These were produced from 1971 to 1972. These are pretty hard to find, but if you do, they would cost about $150 to around $300 or so. She is just such a showstopper with this wild hair. You know, I love the Growin' Pretty Francie, but Growin' Pretty Barbie is really something else too. Next to her, we would have the Montgomery Ward reissue Barbie. Looks just like the original Ponytails, except with this nice tanned skin tone. These are exceptionally rare. They were made in 1972 only, and they would cost about $400 to $600. She is just a showstopper. She is so beautiful. This is the only Montgomery Ward I have, and I'm telling you, I found a great one. I still remember when I got her. Such a beautiful doll. Love the Montgomery Ward Barbie. Next up, our amazing hippie gal here, produced from 1971 to 1974, live action Barbie. When I looked on eBay and Etsy earlier, there really weren't that many. It was sort of surprising now, because I remember there used to be a lot more around. She would cost between $100 and $200 with the outfit, and I didn't see any that had the complete outfit here with the cuffs and all of this, but I would say anything over $200 for her, you might be spending a bit much there. Next to her, from 1972 only, we have Talking Busy Barbie. Exceptionally rare, again a talker, so exceptionally delicate as well. I think I would probably price them between $250 and $400. I did not see hardly any of these on eBay when I looked earlier, but I would say between $250 and $400 is about what you should expect for this really awesome gal right here. All right, we're getting there. 1974 to 1975, Sweet 16 Barbie. She is one of my favorites. I love this like shag haircut she has in this blush. She also came with blush, so you can make her blush even more. So cute, so adorable. She would cost about $100, and she is worth it. She is just so cute. In the box, she would probably cost about $400 to $600 if the box was in great condition. And then we would have Gold Medal Barbie here. Again, this is basically a Malibu Barbie, but you know, she's in the Olympics. She's going for the gold. She'll have a bathing suit and a medal. She would cost about $100. Beautiful doll. If you're in the market for a Malibu, I mean, a gold medal Barbie should do you just fine as well. And finally, Hair Fair Barbie. This doll was released as a head only with a bunch of different hair pieces. To find just the head would probably cost around $75 to $100. Usually if you find them online, they'll include like a TNT body or something with her. If you were to find just the head in the box with all of her hair pieces, that could be upwards of about $500. But Hair Fair Barbie is beautiful. The later ones have eyes that point straight ahead like Malibu Barbie, and the earlier ones have that side glance thing going on. She is absolutely beautiful. I love a Hair Fair Barbie. All right, we did it. We have covered every Barbie. I'm pretty sure every Barbie from 1959 to 1975. I hope you guys found this super helpful. I hope that you find every Barbie that you're out there looking for. If you want me to cover all of Barbie's friends, Stacy, PJ, Steffi, Cara, Christy, all of those girls, that'd be a whole other thing on top of it. If you do want that video, let me know in the comments and I'll make it happen. I'm here for you and I will do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Remember, anyone who donates to my channel will also automatically be included in my monthly giveaways over on Instagram. So happy hunting, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye.